My name is Kelly Slater. I'm a senior project manager, and I've been with Ellis Don for about 7 years. I was a physiotherapy assistant, occupational therapy assistant, and Ellis Don was doing the East Wing at the Toronto Western, and on a weekend, they went in and they ripped the back off of our building, and we came in on Monday morning in October, and it was about 10 degrees, 8 degrees in the clinic, and my boss was like, "What is going on?" And she sent me on a mission down to Ellis Don's site office, and I went down and knocked on the door, and Brian Blackman opens the door, and me and my 21-year-old wisdom jump up and tell Brian, "You've ripped the back off of our building and it's really cold and you need to deal with it." And he pushes out Steve Ferrante and Wayne Ferguson and says, "They will help you." And that was my introduction to Ellis Don. I started at Ellis Don in, I think it was 2013, 2014. I was put on a job for TD doing a interior fit out where we did 12 floors at Bay and Bloor. From there, I got moved down to One York. I then went off on mat leave. I had a little boy, and on my way back, was given the opportunity to go down to the Well. And I worked at the Well right up until I left and went to one of our competitors. COVID had hit and everyone's life was stressful, and in the construction industry it just felt like everything was even more stressful. You know, I was having doubts and I didn't really vocalize those well, and I just sort of internalized all of the doubts and the issues that I was having. And then I started getting these phone calls, you want to come over, it'd be great, and had a few coffees. And in retrospect, I didn't really spend a lot of time telling my people leaders how I was feeling and how overwhelmed I was. And I think if I could do it again, that would be the one thing that I would do. Ellis Don has so many great things. We have a building sciences department. We have people that are experts in lead. We have all of these individual departments that help you build a job. And we're a community and we're sort of like a big family. So if I have an issue, I can call in and have those conversations. And what I found is when I went away, you're promised all those things, but they're not there. And that is a huge win for me, is having all those people on my side and knowing that there's people behind me that I can reach out to when I have questions that can help me solve those things. I don't feel like a number here. I feel like I'm part of a community, part of a family, and part of the team, and that people know my name and are know what I can do and are in my court and on my side. When I was at our competitors, people would ask me where I was working, and I was actually sort of embarrassed to tell people because I'd come from such this great organization, and it was like a step down for me. And that for me was really hard, and that's part of the reason I wanted to come back. For me, my advice for people who are struggling with a choice of potentially leaving is to actually speak to your people leader, speak to your colleagues, talk to them about how you're feeling, why you're feeling like that, and where your heart actually is. Because I think people sometimes struggle in this industry to have those open discussions, but in order for your feelings to be heard and for you to be heard, you actually have to tell people. Having that joking conversation about get me off this job is not the same as having a conversation about how it's impacting you and what you feel at that time. So have those conversations and that open dialogue, and ask for help when you need help. It's a huge thing, and we all need to learn how to do that better.